Alright, well, hello and welcome to the Our Metroidvania podcast. This is Cauldrath from the Our Metroidvania subreddit and Discord.
Hi, this is Master. I'm also from there.
Hi, I'm Atcero, and I'm the local Wanin person hater. And this week we're watching Cauldrath play our Game Club game of the month, Heroine Anthem Zero.
Only the highest of quality games here.
Only the highest of quality games do we play on this, podcast. Of course, with no fan service whatsoever. That doesn't exist in our world.
No. This opening's kind of interesting, though. Like, it's kind of like an anime opening.
Yeah, I skipped this.
It has, like, a song and all that. Obviously, somebody put a lot of work into this.
Which is
Are you
sad.
sure?
Because look at that man's, I didn't realize that man's whole junk, like David Bowie style junk, was just hanging out. Until I was watching this opening when I was putting it in here. Like, look at that! How is that?
Is that a David Bowie thing?
I did not notice that until you pointed it out.
Yep, yeah, I know, right? It's just massive. It's a joke about, Labyrinth, how David Bowie stuffed himself.
Oh,
War and Peace. To make his certain, twig and berries look a lot bigger.
I see.
But yeah, this game has a lot of cutscenes. I calculated that was about 2/5 of the playtime was cutscenes.
I skipped them all.
This is also me trying to figure out how to switch the confirm and cancel buttons because they're backwards from what I'm used to.
Can't watch. Yeah, San Frisco. That name really messes me up. I want to say San Francisco, but no, it's just San Frisco.
They probably did that on purpose just to confuse you.
Probably. And you know what? Mad respect. Still pisses me off.
Yeah,
So,
this is... Oh, go ahead, Master.
so do you think this game, is it a game that you would enjoy more if you had skipped all of the cutscenes?
Yes,
Oh,
definitely skip all the cutscenes, 100%.
It was still bad. Even if you skip the cutscenes, it's still a trash game. Like, music is good. Music is really good. The artwork is really good when it's just the stills. It's like a visual novel. It looks beautiful. Everything else, trash.
I feel like the second half of the game is actually kind of decent. Like, the beginning of the game is just, like, pretty much a bunch of fetch quests and
Yeah.
way too much dialogue. But when you get to the second half, it seems like a pretty decent, like, linear platformer at that point. Like, I wouldn't recommend it over a bunch of things, but it was, like, inoffensive at that point.
Yeah.
So not a Metroidvania.
Oh god, no. It is incredibly linear.
There's, like, one ability gate where I got an ability and then I had to go back one screen to get an optional health upgrade.
The reason why I'm asking is because I refused to play this game, even though it was Game Club.
Hey man, I skipped out buddies. I think this makes us even.
But I have played them all, no matter how bad they are.
And like I said, you can take a skip week at any point if you feel like you need to.
I'll have to, like, find something even worse than this game and then take the skip week.
Midnight Succubus or whatever that one is?
People say that's a good game. What are you
Yeah, I
talking
hear
about?
that's
I'd play
actually
it.
decent.
Oh, is it a good game? I just know it because of
Yeah.
all the, like, nudity and stuff or whatever. The fan
It's a
service.
good game and it has good nudity.
Yeah, that's the other thing about this game is that it is rated teen, but it has tagged hentai, and it has 3, like, topless nipples and all.
To be
sections.
fair, boobies, just boobies, I don't consider that sexual, honestly. Like, yes, it was done in a fan servicey way, but tits, I would still consider teen.
Free the nipple.
Free the nip.
Like, I'm not opposed to nipples, but I think a lot of people wouldn't expect it in a teen-rated game.
It was in Symphony of the Night. Like, what? They just gotta get over it.
But
Those are
not, like,
pixelated
zoomed in
nipples, it's
that
different.
much.
You know what? If you're looking for the titty, that's on you. And to be fair, you can skip those scenes. I did. I skipped the third scene on accident.
Actually, that's a ability gate that, like, I never went back there because I couldn't, like, I couldn't make it up to that part.
Oh, I did. I went back immediately.
What did you find?
I don't even remember. That was yesterday's problem.
It was probably just some money.
Yeah.
The vast majority of chests in this game just give you some money. There are health upgrades, like permanent health upgrades. They don't seem to do a lot, but they're there. Yeah, like I think I just got one there. Oh yeah, also this is the one branching path in the game. It tells you not to go here until you've beaten like the first few bosses. And when we get to the boss, you'll see why. Or I guess I could just say it.
No, I want to watch you. I want to watch how this plays out.
Alright, you want to watch my pain?
I want to watch your pain. I want to see. Because, I mean, they did tell you. They did straight up tell you.
But most games, when they tell you that, it's like, oh, this is going to be extremely hard, not literally impossible.
Hey, that sounds like a you problem, though. Considering the game tells you.
Well, yeah, when it tells me not to do something, that just makes me want to do it more.
God.
Don't wipe your save file.
It's fine. I had multiple save files, and it doesn't lock you in. Yeah, so like the boss is impossible to beat at this point, but it doesn't lock you into it. Like you have to go like interact with something to trigger the boss fight.
No, I meant like, if the game told you to not to delete your save file, would you do it?
Yes.
That seems like one of those fourth wall break things where you're like something will happen if you do delete the save file.
Yeah.
What if it's just like you're playing Kid Icarus and it gives you a warning, don't delete this file. It's
I
your
would
save
immediately
file.
delete it.
Oh, that's actually another ability gate that I could have gone back for.
Did you break what was on the other side of the gate?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And but it was like money. Also, the chests respawn.
Yeah. Good for grinding.
So how's the combat in this game?
It's very much everything's either a wet paper sack or a damage sponge.
Yeah.
But what do you actually do? You just hit things?
Yeah,
like
you just-
Castlevania?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's- Except that, unlike Castlevania, this actually has a combo attack.
Whoa.
I know, right? Upgrade.
and you eventually get a charge attack too. But the thing about the charge attack is like whenever you use it, you just immediately lose all momentum. So
Yeah.
you just drop, and they usually have a bit of a startup. So it's kind of hard to hit anything in midair with them. But one of the cool things is that the different swords have different charge attacks. So it can be worth equipping a weaker sword sometimes just to get a better suited charge attack.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have equipment of some kind?
You have
Yeah,
armor.
Yeah, and also another cool thing is that the armor and weapons will actually show up on your character.
Yep. Which is, I always enjoy that in games.
And actually, a lot of the times when you get armor, you get like two choices that just look different. They have the same stats, so you can kind of like decide how you want to look. But the downside there is that it doesn't show you in the shop how they look. So you kind of have to like just guess based on the name which one you'd rather have.
To be fair, the names are pretty obvious what they are. Oh, titties! Boobs! Look at that. There's the fan service.
Oh yeah, and apparently Wanin, the character you play as, never figures out through the entire game that this woman is female.
That it's a cat girl, not a cat boy.
Yeah, it's like she has her like boobs wrapped most of the time.
But there are two scenes, this being one of them, where her boobs are almost exposed or completely exposed, and he still doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, so one other thing about the combat, if you look right under the life bar, there's a, I think it's called Heroic Vigor. There's like three pointed star looking things. The more of those you have, the more damage you do. And if you get hit by like a hard enough attack, then you lose them, kind of like Sonic Rings style.
Yeah.
But then like one of them, like whenever that happens, one of them disappears permanently.
You always keep the last one, though. Like, if you're on number 1 and you lose number 1, you can always pick that one up.
Yeah.
I see that you are currently fighting a boss in this footage.
Yep.
It seems like it's a tedious boss, maybe?
Well,
Well,
he's
some of it is-
under-leveled AF.
Yeah. And like, so before, like I was underusing. Like the fairy has an attack with a cooldown. It's kind of like a Marvel assist. Okay, so this is the part where this is where it's actually impossible because you can see its life bar is regenerating. It actually regenerates faster than I can deal damage to it when I'm just like dealing as much damage as I possibly can.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, but you got so close.
Yeah, so it does that right, the very last thing it does when you get right at the end. So like you have to like actually get good at the boss fight before you can even find out it's impossible.
I feel like if you got really lucky with when it decided to do it, maybe
And
you
it
could
triggers
delay
at a certain health amount.
Okay. It seemed like the last time you did it, it triggered very close to the end of the health bar, whereas it triggered with more health remaining earlier.
Yeah, I think that first time that I got to that point, like you could barely even see the health bar. But it still wasn't enough.
Pour one out for Cauldrath.
Sorry, what was that?
Pour one out for you.
Oh yeah. I spend more time on this than I probably should have. I'm the type that doesn't like giving up on a boss.
I definitely would have given up.
Like maybe I just have to use the like a certain attack in the right order.
No, it's gonna always fuck you over.
Yeah.
So how was the story in this game, since you're the only one who actually knows the story?
It's not very good. Like it has some good world building, but the like actual plot is like dumb.
Can you describe the plot?
So basically, some stuff is like it starts out with like one of the forest guardians like attacks you, which they don't normally do. So because you're like also working with them, so they're like, why is this happening? And then they go home to report it and meet up with a guy from the city who's like Waning's friend, but he's supposed to like escort his sister to like do some ritual that they never really describe. But like the guy who's supposed to escort her is also like in love with her or whatever.
Does
So
this
they're
game have
just
a
like,
double tap sprint?
yeah, it has
Or
double tap sprint.
interrupting? Just felt like that was crucial to mention, as I noticed it on the video.
But yeah, so like after the sister and that guy leave, um, then you go to like investigate the forest. You like beat up some plant and like, oh, there's something messed up going on, and then like we need to go report back. But then you just like keep going deeper and deeper in the forest, even though you have fast travel and can just return back to town at any time. And then, um, like when you beat the final boss, you just get killed by it afterwards, and that's
Oh.
the end of the story. Well, and then like you meet like somebody else kills the monster at the same time, but like at that point you're already like dying, and then that person has the necklace that matches yours, so like might be your mom.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, she was okay. I was thinking she was your mom too. Because she's like, oh, this is so-and-so's kid.
Yeah, so one of the stories is like talking about how a fairy queen and a like human fell in love, and then the fairy queen went to the like area where you actually um died, like that general area, and like made a deal with a hermit to save her human husband. Um, and so it seems like it might be the case that that person is your father. Um, and that's why you both have like matching necklaces or something like that.
Or maybe they're you from the gender bent dimension.
Possibly, I don't know. Yeah, so this is your sister. And like almost all the banter is just like characters mocking each other. Like the Thronzia guy, they're like, "Oh, haha, you like his sister, but you won't say anything." And then Juanin, the character you play as, everyone's like, "Oh, you're so dumb" all the time. And then the the fairy, like the fairy chick, is like a drunk and like Sunder, I guess.
It sounds so rude.
Yeah. And they don't like act like they're all friendly about it. They're just like the Thronzia guy's like crying all the time when they make fun of him. So it's not like good-natured ribbing.
Does this game ever seem to suffer from translation issues?
It
Perhaps lose
could
the
like
tone?
maybe the plot's just better in Chinese or whatever it is. But it seems like it's reasonable. Like the translation is reasonable. Although all the voice acting is in Chinese.
I did Japanese.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I'm a weeb. Right, Ash?
Oh, yeah, you get this kick attack, which is extremely useless. Like literally all it does is like send something flying around the screen, like bouncing around the screen
I never used it once.
on purpose.
Is it fragrant?
It's a foot.
It makes me uncomfortable.
see. Trying to think of. We're 20 minutes in, and I'm trying to think of anything else mechanical like about this game.
Well, how are the enemies and the enemy variety?
The enemies are individually like pretty basic. Like some of them just like stand still, and then when you get close, they attack. Some of them just like fly back and forth. Yeah. Besides the bosses, they're pretty like simplistic, and probably like about 3 enemies per area, maybe 4. So the enemy variety is like okay, but like not amazing.
I see. But it does have some variety with its NPCs at least.
Yeah, like there are a ton of people in the town to talk to. And I'm sure they have a lot of dialogue, but you know, I'm not gonna try. I'm not trying to get even more dialogue most of the
Yeah.
time. So maybe like somebody that likes visual novels, but like wants some action platforming thrown in would like this game.
So you said it has health upgrades.
Yeah,
What other means of progression are there?
double
Oh.
jump and then your weapon getting a smash ability, essentially.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Oh. And then there's the equipment as well,
Yeah.
and the abilities.
I guess on Steam this has mixed reviews.
It also, that seems optimistic given what I've heard from people on the Discord.
I think part of the issue is that, like, if you're normally when somebody's buying this game, they're buying it like based on like they look at it and they're like, okay, that's a game I want to play. And a lot of other people's cases, we're all like, okay, this is the game club game, so we're playing this
Yeah,
because
but
it's the game club game.
you people voted for it. Don't vote for something if you don't want to play it.
I still did it though. I voted and I played it.
You ruined democracy.
I didn't ruin democracy. Democracy worked exactly how it should. That doesn't mean it's gonna be a good outcome though. Democracy
so
should
many
have won
NPCs.
and made outbuddies lose, but no, I had to deal with outbuddies.
But Outbuddies is a good game.
No, it isn't. I could at least beat this one.
It-
Always
it's
remember,
it's so much better than this
I could
game.
at least beat this game compared to Outbuddies. Think
Stop
about
talking about
that.
Outbuddies. It's fine.
This game was better than Outbuddies. Deal with it. Right, Ash?
Like-
Yeah.
Like every single or almost every single character in this game has like a portrait. So like they put a lot of work into the
Yeah.
like visual novel aspect.
No, I don't mean to say that your opinion is wrong,
Oh,
but
but you're gonna just
do you
say
think
it's wrong.
do you think anyone else? Well, no, I don't have an opinion because I haven't played this game. But do you think anyone else who's played both games would agree with you?
I don't care if they would or not. You're acting as if I care if other people share my opinion. I do not. I am resolute in my opinions. And Outbuddies is trash.
Mhm.
Right, Ash? Ash agrees with me. Because I feed.
Sounds like I could go find Ash and feed him, and he'd agree with me then.
No, he loves me. Cuddle. Actually, don't know how he does with strangers yet.
I'd give the cat cuddles. Give it cuddles all day.
No, he's my cat.
You have to go to work.
Yeah,
I
I do
have
have
a
to go
lot.
to work. But he
I
sleeps all day.
I can work from home. I have like a larger cuddle ratio.
Technically, I could work from home too. I just prefer to go into the office. Actually, I have a lot of intern tasks. I can't work from home. I could work from home some days if I wanted to. Right, Ash?
Oh yeah, so she gave a hammer to her husband like way back when, kind of like an engagement present kind of thing, and he lost it on this mission. So she, for some reason, when she saw him without it, went on some rampage, and you had to stop her.
She's a shield maiden. That's apparently what they do, you know?
They go on a rampage around town when
Apparently.
It doesn't
when
sound
there's a
very
small.
safe.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of weird that you could like jump on the top of the curtains in that room when there's nothing up there.
Oh, yeah, that is weird.
But it's one of those like little details that you see in like the higher quality games, but then this, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like certain things they put so much effort into in this game, but then like other things just drag the package down.
I found it funny how you just had to dash for like 20 seconds to get through the town.
You also eventually unlock fast travel.
Mhm.
And here they're making jokes about holding the boss's big weapon.
Oh, yeah. Now that's my kind of game. Oh god, what else is there about this game? The music's decent. Music's okay.
Yeah.
That's like one of the higher points of the game.
So you say that the art is good, but how do you feel about the art direction?
I like the art direction for the most part.
Yeah, it seems to be consistent at least, and
Yeah.
like I have no problem with any of the art.
However, the sprites on the other.
What's wrong with the sprites?
I am not a fan of rigging.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Is this a game that you could see yourself replaying in the future?
I would replay it over Out Buddies, let me put it that way. However, I think out of all the Game Club games so far, All Was is easily the best. Ash, stop hitting me with your tail.
So there was always an existence.
Out Buddies and this.
Oh, okay, yeah, this was the fourth one. Yeah, I'd say always is probably the best.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I think Out Buddies is close though.
Mm.
Yeah, I said it.
I'm sorry, you're wrong. I'm holding my cat's tail and he's getting irritated and he's trying to flick it, so I pet him again.
Maybe they have like actual like singing for these parts too.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's some things that they put a lot of effort into. But yeah, this is like the world building parts, which, yeah, they're pretty decent. Anything anything story-wise not involving the main characters is actually pretty decent.
It's weird how many different like mythologies they're taking from. That's
Why is it weird?
Mesopotamian. Because it's mainly Norse-based, but it has a lot of... Well, this is Mesopotamian influenced. The pit, I believe, is inspired by Greek mythology. Oh, hi!
I find that lots of games kind of just throw together random influences.
Yeah, but that's
They're-
the thing. This is heavily Norse, inspired. Like,
Yeah.
everything's Norse, but with smatterings of other things in there, which is interesting.
Well, I think part of it, like, this isn't the first game in the series.
Oh.
There were two other just Heroine Anthem games, and then they went to Heroine Anthem Zero. Like the first two were supposed to be like RPGs or adventure games or something like that.
I gotta look those up and see how they look.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, San Francisco Death. Always is good.
But he also said Out Buddy's a close second.
You know
So
what?
he
It's okay
agrees
that
with me.
everyone else is wrong. Because, you know, I'll always be right. And that's okay with me.
By yourself, you'll be right.
That's exactly my life. What do you mean?
But yeah, I think part of the reason that it mixes mythologies is because this is supposed to be an entire world. You're basically in the Norse area here, but there's like other areas that have their own mythologies that are nearby.
I'm not even finding Heroine Anthem regular. Or was it called something else?
Pretty sure it was just Heroine Anthem.
Oh, well, I found Anthem launch trailer. Oh, that makes me sad. Oh, that hurts me. I loved Anthem. Such a wasted potential.
What is a waste of potential, though?
Makes
What
me
is
sad.
potential?
It was such a...
Does this game have potential?
No.
I would say this game is a waste of potential because there's all those
The face.
there's all the things that they did do well in it, and then all the things they did poorly. Although, like, one of the I think a lot of what we didn't like was the fact that there was, well, I guess you skipped all the dialogue, but like everyone else that played it that didn't skip all the dialogue was annoyed by the amount of dialogue. But that's kind of supposed to be a selling point of the game.
I found the game. It's a Shengnu Zi Shigi. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. I don't speak Chinese.
Guess it's pretty bad if people find that the main selling point of the game is pretty low in quality.
Well, we're not the we're not the target demographic for that. Like, it's designed for somebody with different tastes than us.
Perhaps. Though certainly there are people maybe we should ask the people who played this game for Game Club if they enjoy visual novels.
I do not.
You mean the people who voted for it?
Yes.
I do
Or
not.
just also the people who played it.
I'm gonna I'm gonna fucking read a book, not a visual novel.
I mean, some people like visual novels.
And that's fine.
Like,
I'm just not personally one of them. I just cannot stand them.
not even Phoenix Wright?
Okay, Phoenix Wright is different, alright? That game hits different. Ace Attorney has that more puzzle-solving aspect to it that makes it just a little bit not quite a true visual novel.
It's kind of similar, except instead of having puzzle solving, they have action platforming.
Yeah, but I skipped all the dialogue, remember? Also, the previous hero in Anthem, the Angel of Serum, it's interesting. It's weird. This one's like a point and click. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So the first game is an RPG. The second one is a point and click adventure game, I'm pretty sure. With RPG fight elements. That's how it's looking to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played it, so I'm
Some
just
of
going what I've heard.
Some of the characters have like 3D almost looking models for their portraits, and others have like the actual anime. This is weird. So the first one released in 2002. Second one was 2003. Heroine Anthem Zero was 2016. And then Scars of Memory looks like it released not too long ago.
Yeah.
Oh, you play as Catboy. Okay.
What are you wanting now and you don't realize that she's a female?
No, well, I just like to say Catboy. It's funnier.
Ginger Tot? But it says her name is.
Looks like they reused quite a bit of the assets, though, from the first game. In terms of certain aspects.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's more than one of them.
One of what?
More than one of the Ginger Tots, because like you throw one into prison and then go rescue the other one.
I'm pretty sure it's the same person. It depends on which... I'm assuming that's just messed up lore, like, depending on what path you take.
Well, no, like if you,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
it actually is like, hey, that's weird. Why we should go check on see if she's still in the prison, and then you go check and she's still there. So
Yeah.
and then also like one of the bards seems to be of the same race too. So there's probably just like a bunch of them. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. I I remember you enjoying the spikes so much in this area.
Oh, God.
Like the spikes deal a ton of damage, like half your health, and like it seems like a lot of the things in this game is like they either do almost no damage or they do half your health bar.
Yeah, that is there is no good in between. Also, this game has fucking bottomless pits.
Yeah,
Ugh.
which is like a no-no for a Metroidvania.
It's a cardinal
There-
sin of a Metroidvania.
There is like one of the later areas where I'm trying to like I'm looking around and like exploring, and then I just like go down in an area, and then it's like, oh, I guess that was a bottomless pit. I'm dead now.
Yep, I took to starting to slide down the walls slowly.
Yeah.
I returned.
Welcome back.
We were discussing bottomless pits, which this game has.
Do you like bottomless pits?
No. Not if it's a platformer where it's obvious that it's a bottomless pit, like let's say Circle of the Moon, or not Circle of the Moon, sorry, Curse of the Moon, wrong one. Or Castlevania, or even a Kirby. That's fine. Because it usually makes sense that it's there and you expect it to be there. However, when you place a bottomless pit in a Metroidvania, it discourages exploration, which is what the genre is made for, is exploration. And if you add something that punishes people for exploration in a game based on exploration, you've done a shitty job making your game. In Existence had the same thing. And it's like, why would you have bottomless pits? It's no. I think...
I wonder if the developers intended for it to be a Metroidvania, or it just got labeled as one. Because it does have the tag.
People probably labeled it as one. Oh.
Yeah, its first tag is RPG and second is Metroidvania.
Cat girls have 2 ears. They have their cat
What?
ears and then they have their human ears.
Oh my god, you're right.
I hate when they do that.
So they can hear twice as well.
Yeah,
Not how it
you
works.
gotta at least commit. Otherwise, they're just wearing
Fake ears.
ears on their head.
Yeah, no, I really hate that in when you have fairy. God damn it, Kamiki, get out of here! No fairy power, no! But yeah, I hate when they don't commit to one ears. It's like, okay, either you have one style with the cat ears, because that would make sense, or you have the human ears, and that makes sense. You can't have both.
Maybe there's a lore reason for it.
Highly doubtful for how the rest of this game goes.
You need to go play the first 2 games, and then you'll understand everything.
I'm good. I'm good.
Just caught a random dialogue about that beast's bride running off.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is a
I
very
know, it's-
creepy monster.
He's
I
a
know what's
perv.
going on here.
Yeah.
Let's go times 1,000. Let's go. Yeah, God, I hated that.
Imagine if that didn't have a cooldown and you could spam it.
Oh God.
How many times you would hear "Let's go"?
So many goddamn times.
What consumables do you have?
Right now, I just have goat's milk.
Straight from the
There-
goat's teat.
Yeah. The consumables are mostly healing items, but there's also some that can give you a temporary attack power buff.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get the attack power buff yet. I don't
No,
think
because
the
you haven't
virtual
unlocked
assault-
Weasel Shantae.
Furry Shantae.
Furry Shantae.
But yeah, this boss, I don't feel like it's telegraphed very well.
Oh, actually, he does
especially-
have a pattern.
Yeah, but it's
If-
one of those that like you have to like
Yeah.
know it beforehand.
Because if he's on the left or right, he's always going to do the fists in the second phase. If he's in the middle, he's going to do the slam if you're on the ground.
Yeah.
I may or may not have fought that boss too many times.
What are the best and worst characters in this game?
Honestly, I don't like any of them. I remember some people saying that the fairy Momodaria was the most annoying to them, but I think she might be the least annoying to me. But I still wouldn't consider her a good character. Like they seem like they're like caricatures. And like they're ostensibly friends, but they don't really act like it, except for like an extremely
Like at the end.
yeah, like if their life's not on the line, then they don't really care about each other. It seems like,
Pretty much.
but they're like willing to die for each other. So,
Wait, isn't that how your guys' friends work?
usually we aren't that terrible to each other.
Damn.
Not trying to make people cry. Just some just when we give Master shit about La Milana, we're not trying to make him cry. We're trying to like be funny.
That's true.
I try to be positive, and so should you.
No. That's gross. Disgusting. How dare you suggest me be positive? I'm a gremlin, that's not allowed. Though I am positive about one thing. Out Buddies is worse than this game!
Why do you keep talking about Outbuddies?
Because I had to make a positive joke. I had to make a
anything.
positive joke, Master!
Apparently, Out Buddies is now my La Mulana.
Yes. Sure, why not? Let's go with that. Oh, I mean, I can shit on La Mulana too. Do you want me to do that?
We
We
got
haven't
plenty to
played La
shit on
Mulana
here.
2.
No,
Oh, yeah.
that boo, boo.
Guess
So-
you gotta.
I forgot about the least important consumable, the remedy herb. It cures poison, but
You get poisoned
like,
right away, and poison does like nothing.
yeah, I didn't realize that, so I bought like 5 of them, and every time I got poison, I'm like, oh man, I gotta cure the poison. And then when I ran out of them, it's like, oh, I took like 5% of my health from
If
this
even
poison.
that.
Yeah. So if you play this game, just don't bother buying any of the poison cure stuff. Oh yeah, so you have your bed in the basement as just a hammock, and then inside your sister has their bed, and it's like an actual bed. So you can sleep in your sister's bed, which is almost right next to yours.
Yeah, I
And
might
they
have
have the
done
same
that.
And
Oh.
yep.
And then I
And
said
Atcero
I
decided
sniffed
to
it.
do
I sniffed the whole thing, and then right after Cauldrath's like, you know that's your sister's bed. I'm like, oh, sweet home Alabama. Do yourself a favor and don't play the game at all. That's what San Frisco said. Truth. Ugh.
Yeah, like I said before, I don't think the second half of this game, like once you leave the town, is that bad.
Ah.
But that's like half the game. Only.
How long is this game?
It took me 6.5 hours to beat it.
I see.
And yeah, 2/5 of that is dialogue.
Did you count?
So yeah, I attempted to make a version of this where it like had the dialogue running at 4 times the speed of the rest of it, but it like was going to take all day for it to process, so it was going to be done in time. And based on the amount of like it wound up being like 4 hours and 40 minutes once I did that, so I calculated it out to be like 2/5.
Seems like more than that. At least if you count sprinting to the other side of town.
Yeah, there were like, if it was like cutscene and then like all I did was sprint for less than a minute, and then another cutscene, then I just counted the sprinting as part of the cutscene. But pretty much everything in town is just like fetch quests.
Yeah.
It's like that tub area was like one dungeon, and then like the ending has like a series of dungeons, linear dungeons. But like when you're in the town, it's just like go back and forth.
Oh, I see that furry Shantae is the fast
Yeah.
travel system.
Yeah,
Yep.
Shantae. She likes to nab you in her sack and whisk you away.
I'm not gonna make the joke.
Why not?
I don't want to.
I'm disappointed.
This is an intense cutscene.
Yeah. His sister's shipping off, and he was gonna just not go to see her before she left. So Cat McGee asked how the lore is. Yeah, like
Cats?
I feel like the world building is pretty okay. Just the plot is terrible.
I did not care about any of it, as seen from yesterday, and as seen when you made me not skip dialogue yesterday, cat.
Does the world building actually have depth to it? I feel like I feel you can have world building that's very minimal and be functional to the point where you could say that it's acceptable.
I think it was... I mean, there's 2 games before this, which are RPGs, and RPGs allow for a lot heavier world building. So I'm sure in those first 2 games it was really good.
Yeah, like that. They probably had a basis there, and they built on top of it.
Yeah.
And then, like the 2 sections where the bards were like telling stories, or like world
Yeah.
building lore parts, and they're presented well, and like they're kind of interesting, like mythologically. I guess part of the issue though is like nothing's really explained. It's just like you wind up with more questions by the end than any answers. Like pretty much nothing gets answered. Like you're supposed to go investigate what's going on in the forest, and you never find out what's going on in the forest.
Oh, that's sad. You could say that the game is actually genius for not answering your question,
No.
as it
Don't
is
don't praise this game more
reflective
than it
of
is.
a real world where one must temper their own expectations. A world where there is no resolution.
Well, there's a resolution. You just die to a boss you've defeated.
Just like real life. Man, this game is amazing.
Yeah, you should have played it. You can still play it.
It's true, it's not too late. Game Club doesn't end until, or doesn't cycle to the next game until this podcast ends.
Yeah. You could go play the game right now.
Probably get through it if I could skip all the cutscenes.
Well, Atcero didn't. How long did it take you? Like,
5-ish hours, I think, at the end.
yeah.
But I also die a lot because I'm reckless. That never helps.
How does the saving work?
You find scrolls. Save.
Yeah, just
It's-
save
it's-
point.
Points.
Yeah.
Like Castlevania or Metroid.
I see. Oh no, you're beating up your friend.
We're not friends. Literally,
That's
it's just
good.
like you show up to an area, she's like getting attacked by a monster, and then you defeat the monster, and she runs away while you attack it, or while you're fighting. And that was the entirety of your interactions before this point. And here, like, she stole some bread from the tavern, and they sent you to catch her. Sequel next time? No, we're not.
No, no.
Although Salme said he was like tried the sequel and he said it's better.
I'm gonna
what
be
way?
playing... No.
Well, we have another game club game to play.
Yeah, that one at least looks different. Or decent, I should say, not different.
Does the game have any kind of 100%
It doesn't have any tracker for that, so Well, I know that I didn't 100% it because there were some things that I didn't get. Like, Atcero got a better sword than I did by the end.
And I didn't even use it for the final boss.
Perhaps we can discuss the music. I'm told that it's good, but I have not
That's
heard
about
it.
all there is to it. It's good. It's forgettable, but it's good.
It's good enough to
It's
not
good enough.
be bad.
It's competent. It does its job. There's nothing noticeably bad about it. A lot of time, that's all you really need from music.
This is true. If the game had amazing music, not sure if it would improve the game.
Well, it would. It might not make it good, but it would
Prove
still
the
improve it.
composer is good.
So earlier you came to this area and this cat girl is stuck in a tree,
Yes.
and then you later...
And she's been here this whole time.
Okay. But this is a different cat girl.
We don't know.
It is, unless like she escaped, got herself
It's the
caught in a
same
tree.
sprite.
Yeah, maybe they're twins.
No.
Like, think about what would have to have occurred. She would have
I'm
had to
looking
have
this up.
broken out. She would have had to like gotten stuck in the trees, and then eventually like gotten out of that, and then done all that other stuff. Got caught, thrown into prison, broken out of prison, got herself stuck in the same tree again. Then you rescue her, and then she goes back into prison before you get there.
You really think that this game had a continuity error when you try to sequence break it?
Like when you save her, it's literally like, hey, isn't that the same person that was in prison? We should go check if she's still there. And then you go check if she's still there, and she is.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's all Shama, because they called her by name before. Yeah, it's Shama.
I really don't like all the camera shaking around in these sped up cutscenes. It's like when... This is a strange comparison, but it reminds me of when a bad history documentary just zooms in on a picture and pans it.
You can't blame the game for how it looks at 4 times speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So though zooming in on... I'm assuming the game doesn't look as good when it's zoomed in than when it's not.
Depends on how you are looking at it. Like, a lot of times they zoom in just so you can see the animations better. So they
But
do
the
it because they
animation-
think it looks better.
Yeah, the animations aren't good, is the problem, yes.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, I don't think it's purely like, I think it's a kind of a hybrid between sprite based and skeletal. Like some of the stuff that they do, you couldn't do with just straight skeletal animation.
How are the backgrounds? From what I'm seeing, the backgrounds look okay, but they're very repetitive. And it's just the same, the layers just kind of on a loop as it parallaxes through a long area.
Yeah, that probably is the case. But the part that it parallaxes through is pretty detailed, at least. I just got the charge attack. So now I can go break those like roots. So this is the ability gate that I encountered.
You found the ability gate. Now it's a Metroidvania.
Banned.
Oh, this is so exciting.
Well, there were some other places that I could have gone to that I forgot about.
If you had to compare this game to any other games that you've played, can you do it?
Maybe like the Vagrant.
And which game would you say was better overall?
Oh, the Vagrant.
Can
Like,
you
2
elaborate?
tiers better. I mean, it didn't have as much like dialogue. The combat had was more in depth. There was more branching paths. I still wouldn't consider that game a Metroidvania. It was largely plot gated, but like did the things better than this game. At least the things that I'm most concerned about. Like I would say, as a visual novel, this one's better than that game.
But that's just because of the amount of visual novel present compared to gameplay. Not necessarily reflective of the quality of the visual novel segments.
I'd say the quality. Like, I think as a visual novel, this is like fairly decent. But I'm not like big on visual novels. Like, the ones that I've intentionally played are like Phoenix Wright and Danganronpa.
Oh, Danganronpa, yeah. Apparently there's a Shadowgate reference in one of them, and I got pinged on that. Like, thanks. They're like, hey, found Atcero in the game. I'm like, bro, shut up. We have this.
You're a fan of Shadowgate, huh?
Yeah, I've arranged 12, or how many songs have I arranged? Like 10 songs for it? I would hope so. I'm a fan of Mac Ventures.
So you played like The Uninvited and Deja Vu.
Yeah, I never got super far in Deja Vu. I need to replay Deja Vu, but I beat, or almost beat Uninvited. I think I got caught by the time though, on it one time, because that one's timed.
Yeah, I never played The Uninvited, but I did beat Shadowgate and Deja Vu.
Yeah. I've beaten Shadowgate.
Yeah, this part of the game I feel like is actually kind of okay. Like there aren't a lot of cutscenes. There's like there's some secrets to find. Like the like actual area structure is extremely linear, but like there's some like little pockets of like secrets within the linear areas. So like there's a little bit of exploring to do.
I see.
Well, I think this is where I like jump into the pit. So the exploration isn't perfect, definitely.
Yeah.
Assume there's no way to pan down your screen.
Nope, you
that's
gotta
another-
slide.
And like, yeah, that's where I fell into it.
It's
Like, I
terrible.
wonder what's down here. Like, and also there's spikes on either side, so you can't go down and then get back up.
Ash, do you have to? Shit, what?
And the things you find are like permanent health upgrades, and like this is one of the few games where I feel like the currency is actually fairly well balanced. Like Atcero had to grind for some money, but like I had pretty much like I never felt like I had so much money I didn't have anything to spend on it, and I also never felt like I had to grind for money.
I always had to grind.
Do you need money to complete the game?
Yes. If you want to not spend like 3 hours on a single boss, you need to upgrade your stuff.
Or just get good and don't get hit.
That doesn't change the fact that your damage output is piss poor.
Yeah, but you'll get them eventually.
That's what I said. 2 to 3 hours.
It's not gonna take 2 to 3 hours to kill a boss with.
It took me 15-20 minutes, even with like a decently balanced sword, because I was at one of the heroic vigors and increase.
If you're good, if you're good, then you should have 3 heroic vigors at all times.
No, not
If
with
you're
the
good,
final
then you can
boss.
Maximize your damage
okay.
output.
Did you get hit on the final boss?
Yeah, but I don't.
Then shut your fucking mouth. You have no room to talk.
I beat it on the second try. I didn't have to like practice much.
Yeah, but I'm also reckless. Gosh, there's a difference.
It's like Castlevania. You need to know when to wail on the boss because you can't face tank them.
Sure,
Yeah, you can.
You just have to have enough healing items.
Yeah, you easily can in Castlevania. Well, old school.
I meant comparing it to this game, where I'm assuming you had trouble with not being able to face tank the boss.
Shut up.
Whereas in Castlevania, you can just face tank the boss.
So like, there's certain, as long as you know like which attacks hit hard, you can just face tank everything else. I don't know if you were here when we were discussing how the damage discrepancies in this game, where things like either do almost no damage or half your health bar. So like, if you get hit by the spikes, it takes like half your health. But like, if you get hit by like one of these random enemies, it's gonna do like pretty negligible amount of damage. Yeah, like I just got hit there by an enemy, and it's like that's not an amount of damage that I'd really care about.
At least this game has wall jumping, though it's the boring kind of slidey wall jumping and not the Metroid wall jumping. Still wall jumping.
I appreciate the Mega Man X style wall jump.
Yeah, I wasn't. Honestly, the controls in this game felt fine. I never had one issue where the controls felt clunky or bad. I have to say.
I do dislike that they use the double tap dash.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
San Frisco said the first spider boss attempt without the sword upgrade was painful to watch. Yeah, that sucked. That sucked. I will agree with that.
Yeah, Atcero didn't go to that side quest area until after, like, pretty late in the game. And there's a lot of chests there that have a bunch of money in them. And I went there twice, basically, so... that could be why I had so much more money than her.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, this is that boss from Zero Mission.
It was pretty much, yeah. Except worse.
Except it actually has more than 2 attacks because it's not a mini boss you're supposed to quickly kill. Guess it has 3 attacks instead of 2 attacks, man.
4, I think, in all. Yeah, 4 attacks.
Instead of talking about this game, let's just talk about how good of a game Zero Mission is.
You know what? I would be down for that.
I do like how the worm kind of shows up. Not to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played Zero Mission, but it's surprising, and it forces you to adapt to something that you've recently acquired. But it's also time sensitive to where if you hold out, perhaps because you don't understand how to use the new ability that you've acquired, the boss will leave. You can fight it again later when you're more familiar with the mechanics somewhere else.
There is something to be said to forcing the player to learn a new mechanic before they can move on, though, because it allows you to build upon that.
Zero Mission, despite its relatively, I guess it's not, I wouldn't call it super short, but perhaps it's just easy to speed through the game because it's a quick game.
Yeah, all the
You
Metroids you
move
can beat quickly.
quickly,
Yeah.
do things fast.
There's still a lot to do in the game, like if you want to 100% it. Oh yeah, this next dungeon has like kind of sort of puzzles.
Oh,
I didn't do the puzzle. I just ran through it as much as I could. And then I got yelled at for running through it. By the game. And then I continued to run through it!
so what are the puzzles?
So there's these switches that the enemies walk back and forth, and when they're on it, some of those spike things go up and some of them go down, which is kind of a problem because you can't see them, and so you don't know when they're going to go up or down when they're off screen.
Wow, sounds like a real crazy puzzle. Really
But
makes
then-
you think.
You
But
good?
then you can
Good-
also you
It's a
can
good
also
thing there's that clue there. Let you know that the yellow switch on the screen, it raises the yellow ball on the screen.
Oh, don't worry. They walk you through an even simpler puzzle after this.
Pushing blocks.
I actually like messed this up, so I had to reset the
See,
dungeon.
this is why I just ran through it. Why try to solve it when you can just, you know, run through it? That's my motto.
For the satisfaction of having solved something.
Oh, who gives a shit about that? I beat the game. That's all the satisfaction I need.
Did you really solve something here, though?
I didn't. I did on the way out because you have to, but first part, nope.
No, you don't really. Well, yeah, I wouldn't really consider any of this a real puzzle. Like you could probably have like a basis for a puzzle here, but they don't really execute too much on it. Like the requirements aren't strict enough to really hit puzzle amount.
Amazing how the fast travel person has reached this place ahead of you.
Yeah, they can fast travel.
What is their story relevance?
Like anytime you ask them about anything, they're just like, "Hey, welcome to my shop." So like they do know things, but they never really tell you.
Yeah.
And why are they acting as your fast travel person?
And to be nice, I guess. I don't know. I never really explained that too much either. But yeah, this is where they're like, "Oh, by the way, hey, there's 4 switches. You need to hit all the switches to open the door."
Oh my
It's a
god.
very complicated puzzle.
Man, these cutscenes are obnoxious even when they're sped up. I can't imagine just watching it normally.
Yeah. Yeah, so this new sword has a charge attack that's like a upwards tornado, so that it's a lot more useful than the one you start with.
Sounds useful. Being able to attack on a vertical plane is very important in a two-dimensional game.
Yeah.
Oh no, not this room! Yeah. You can't leave this room. If you leave this room, you have to go back and redo the puzzle. With the blocks. It's dumb.
It's not too much of an issue if you don't get hit by every single enemy.
Well, they shouldn't be in my way.
Like, huh, for some reason I have almost full health.
What's that? Yeah, why is your bar so green? That looks weird.
Thought that was supposed to go down as you played the game.
It does when I play it!
Oh yeah, I never actually went left here.
Well, I guess we'll never know what's beyond that room.
If you want to find out, you can play the game yourself.
Oh man.
Maybe I could even give you my save and then you can just like go from the end of the game to there.
Please don't. It seems that you are reaching the end of the game.
I think there's 2 more bosses.
This one and the next one, yep.
But we only have 12 minutes until the end of the...
Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
like an hour and 37 minutes or something like that.
Please
No.
don't go over time for this game. Not for this one.
You could fast forward like 7 minutes at some random
I
point.
can't.
You can't?
No, this is an MP3 on the stream. I can't touch the timing. Streamlabs, baby! I am not playing it through my computer. This is on Streamlabs, so...
Guess we're stuck.
Or we just ignore it.
I guess our viewers will never know what happens at the
They
end
can
of this
Google
game.
the ending, or they can... Actually, no, they couldn't go watch my stream because I beat it on the Metroidvania podcast.
Yep.
Or not the podcast, that's MV Cord.
I guess I could find the time, like when we end, and then throw up the rest of the video YouTube channel for all the people who just like can't stand not seeing the end of this game.
I'm assuming that Cat McGee is making a terrible joke.
Yep. He better be. I know where you live. Better be a joke, cat, or I'm coming over there.
But this is better than Out Buddies, right?
Of course. I would say the same if you were to play Out Buddies. Don't you dare gadzooks me! How dare you!
Yeah, this is already kind of lame where like you beat the boss and then it runs away and they're like, we can't go back because the boss might drop down and kill us when we try to go to the exit. I guess it is trying to like just give you the impression that you're getting like deeper and deeper into shit.
But you can just fast travel away.
Yeah.
It's there's like a whole lore reason for the fast travel, and that there's this person who kidnaps you in their sack. It's not like it's something you're supposed to ignore in the story, right?
Doesn't really matter. Oh no, my neighbors are having their nightly cardio workout. No.
Sounds better than watching this gameplay.
You know what I mean by cardio workout, right, Master?
I'm aware.
Okay, I just want to make sure you know.
Yeah. How old do they sound?
They gotta be mid-20s or early 30s. I'm guessing mid-20s. I mean, it's 2 adults. But God, are they fucking loud. Or I should say, their fucking is loud. Nothing? I thought that was... Fuck you guys, I thought that was funny.
See, I already thought you'd made that joke.
No, I
and
haven't.
then- no, I mean, I thought your original way you saying it was you making that joke. And then you basically just restated the same joke as far as I was.
No. That was not my intent for the original. They're
So are you
fucking
guys
loud compared to they're fucking loudly.
Are you guys excited for Silksong?
I don't care. Until it comes out, I am not getting hyped up.
I am insulating myself from disappointment from Silksong, so I'm just gonna act like it doesn't exist until it does.
I see.
Yeah, I'm able to afford the sword here, I think, but not the armor.
Have you ever heard of the hot-cold empathy gap?
No.
Basically, when you're in a hot emotional state, as in there is some driving force to your mood, such as hunger or anger, you think differently in a way that you, in a cold state, cannot predict accurately. Despite being aware of this fact, you still cannot necessarily know yourself when you are in that state, and vice versa.
How is this coming up?
Oh, I just thought it was interesting.
Oh, okay. It's like, how does this really... Are you talking about being angry at this game? And so you can't realize how you would think, like the state you would think in when you're playing this game because you're just not used to being that angry.
Well, if perhaps looking at this game, you think, well, this doesn't look like the most interesting game, but I'm sure it would be fine if I played it. And then when you played it, you would realize, wow, this makes me incredibly angry and I do not want to play this game.
I mean, I was never really angry at the game. It just like was just mediocre all the time. And like boring at most.
I suppose that's the worst thing about a mediocre game. You don't really have strong feelings about it, which means you don't really care enough to avoid playing it, even though you're not particularly enjoying playing it. Perhaps the you that exists when you are playing a bad video game is different from the you that exists when you think about playing a bad video game.
Maybe much angrier. I was much angrier while I was playing than I recall being.
It's possible. Or you could have been having more fun while playing it than you now remember.
Well, there's only one way for you to find out if like it's actually fun while you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, that's another thing about the hot cold empathy gap. People don't really account for this when they're trying to determine or predict what the actions of another person would be. They expect that other person to always behave in a certain predictable way when that is not the case.
Well, if our goal is to not go, oh wait, this is like, is this the final boss?
Oh, you're almost there, definitely.
So we still have the trailer for the next Game Club game to show.
Yep.
Oh yes. Should we do that now? I think we should.
I'm fine doing that.
Yeah, so there's 2 trailers that I linked. I don't know if we want to show both of them.
We can.
Maybe we could, or just the first one. I don't think it matters.
Like there's one for the game itself and then one for like an update they did.
Yeah, Bounty of Night is only a minute, so we can. So can I switch off this bad boy now?
Yes.
Yeah, we might as well.
Let's turn on YouTube audio. Hopefully, actually, let me see if that's correct. Hi, Ash. What? Hi.
Oh yeah, actually, right at the end there was like a gap that it looks like you need like a slide for. So that made me kind of
Rated
wonder
T
if
for
there
teen.
was like
There we go.
somewhere that you could find a slide.
What?
Maybe it's just a bug hole where bugs crawl out of.
Well, there weren't any coming out of there. So.
Yeah. No, you could just go around. You didn't need
It's
to slide.
environmental storytelling that the bugs came out of that hole.
Can we watch the trailer now?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Rated T for teen.
They used to say, day will always vanquish the night. But most of us have lost hope. Upon every face within and beyond our walls, I saw the woe and torment inflicted by the creatures of the night. My steel will strike onto thee, not once, nor twice, but 3 times without number. I will find my sister, free May from the darkness, and forever end this world from the longest night.
Your time draws near, my dear. You care for these people. The creatures of darkness come for you. They prey on thy flesh and soul. I have witnessed such horrors. But I can help you. Follow me. Light our world. Take your rightful place in a higher existence. Spill the blood of these terrors. For you must become the bedrock of the goddess's return. And may her divine light shine upon us all. And may your sacrifice not be too much to bear.
That was the first one.
Vigil, the longest night.
Yeah, so it's currently on sale for 40% off for $13.19 on both Switch and Steam.
Is this
May 23rd on Switch and May 21st on Steam.
better grab it soon if you're playing on either of these.
Seems like what would happen if Dracula won in Castlevania. Yeah, that's the next game club game.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I've already played this, and I actually rated it higher than any of the ones we've had for Game Club so far.
Damn. I'll be judge of that.
It's my highest rated game with an on-demand dodge roll.
You poor thing. It has a dodge roll. It's evil.
And a parry, although the parry's kind of crap.
Would you say that this game is more like Dark Souls or more like Castlevania?
I think it's trying to be both,
Hmm.
I see.
but maybe a little bit more like Castlevania.
Well, there's only... Well, there's several ways to find out. But one of those ways is by playing the game for yourself.
Right.
But yeah. Thank you everyone for coming tonight.
Have a good
Putting
night.
up with this game. Or
Yeah,
the previous
Yeah.
game.
God.
Never have to... We never speak of this again.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
no,
speak
I've-
about
I've
it
been-
every time now.
Yep. Constant comparisons.
Oh yeah.
Alright, well, yep. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
Mm.